For years, us fans have been hearing about ways United could renovate Old Trafford in a similar way Real Madrid have recently renovated the Bernabeu. People have expressed ideas about how United could build a whole new stadium on site, similar to what Tottenham Hotspur have done. But now, with Sir Jim taking the reins, a new theatre of dreams may finally become more than just a dream.
Beautiful day.
Right then guys, so I'm currently heading down Wharfside Way, outside of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Now if you did see parts 1 and 2 of this series, you'd have seen in part 1 I encountered a bit of a problem with security. Apparently you're not allowed to film professionally. Quite a compliment, I'm not really a professional on the premises. So we're going to do this on the outskirts, slightly off Man United owned property and on council land. Now, it's not just me who's encountered this problem. I've just bumped into the Stretford Paddock boys. They were literally filming in front of Hotel Football, where we're going to go in a moment. And they've said similar things. Security can at times be a bit of a job's worth, but I understand it. Under the regime of the Glazers, they don't want people rocking up on YouTube and exposing any negative aspects to the ground. But as we mentioned, Sir Jim has started to take some of the reins here at Old Trafford, and we might finally have change, with the biggest change being our home, the glorious Old Trafford. Now, as we've previously stated in the first parts, this opened all the way back in 1910. 114 years Old Trafford has been open. That's a long time. And for that reason, a 114-year-old building probably shouldn't be renovated. There's a lot of pros to building a new stadium. A few cons behind me over here being the car parks, not just to the side of Sir Alex Ferguson stand, but mainly over in the distance, the Stretford end. Now, we were here on Saturday and I did film some footage of that huge car park that could be an ideal location for a new ground. We made reference to Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, Tottenham built the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium right next to the old White Hart Lane Stadium, and Manchester United could very much do a similar thing behind the Stretford end on that car park. Now, on paper, building a new stadium could cost like up to 2 billion really. It could cost a lot more than renovating Old Trafford, but long term, it probably would be financially the better option. Not only because you could fit more people in it, you could probably build a Wembley of the North, as Sir Jim calls it, a 90,000 plus seater stadium that could host international games. Again, it could host England games, FA Cup finals, Champions League finals and so on. So obviously you've got the financial benefit of that, but also the fact that you wouldn't have to close down Old Trafford. If you remember when the old North stand, the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, was being renovated and the Stretford end in like the early to mid 90s. Obviously United's attendance was down. They lost money whilst that was being built. But you wouldn't have to lose money. You could continue pretty much as we are. Full attendance here at Old Trafford whilst the new Trafford is being developed over there in the distance. So then guys, as you make your way down the steps to the side of Hotel Football, you can walk along the canal that runs alongside Manchester United grounds property. Hotel Football behind, Canal, Old Trafford. So let's have a little wander down the canal, which runs parallel with the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. So as you can see, any developments to the ground on this edge is near impossible because of the canal. Obviously, we've made reference to the fact that the railway line runs along the other side, along the Sir Bobby Charlton stand. So in terms of building a new stadium, there's only really one option, and that is on the car parks behind the Stretford end. I mean, slightly off the Sir Alex Ferguson stand as well. There's a bit of room, a few car parks and stuff. I mean, when people do videos around Old Trafford, they don't really capture anything around the ground. I mean, this canal is often forgotten about unless you live in Manchester and you pass it on a daily basis. Really is nice. I mean, I say nice, it is somewhat littered with rubbish. There's a lot of crap in this canal, I'm not going to lie to you. And there is a swan that's just pacing round, eyeing me up over there in the distance. I need a Wheelstone raid around here and say, you want some?
If you want some, I'll give it you.
So guys, I'm currently behind the Stretford end. Now here you can see the massive car park. I shouldn't be filming it, by the way, so I've got to be quick. Over there you've got the canal we walked down, right along behind the ticket office over there. Now alternatively on this side you've got the railway track. So if United are to build a new stadium, the only place really they could build it is on this car park over here behind the Stretford end. It would probably have to be slightly flipped and go that way just to fit in, so you've got enough space around the outside. But there's absolutely loads of room. You could build a new Old Trafford, New Trafford, on this area of land here. So then guys, where I'm stood right now probably offers a better view, a perspective as to where the new stadium could go. Not only have you got that car park right behind the Stretford end and to the side of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, again you can see the railway track there. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not entirely sure. Do United own this car park behind? On first glance, it doesn't look like they do, but then if you look at all the signs, they've all got that Man United font on the signs, the red signs. There we go, yeah, West Car Park. So I'm guessing that car park behind me over there as well is owned by United. It's a little bit too thin, I think, to fit a stadium there, but you could have a club shop, you could keep it as parking. There's so much space around the ground, it's unreal. For me, if you are to weigh up what we should do in terms of renovating the current Old Trafford or building a new one, it's pretty plain and simple. I mean, Populous, the company who were kind of behind or partly responsible for the design of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, apparently Sir Jim has been in touch and said, what do you reckon? And shock, they said build a whole new stadium, because they probably want to earn some quid off it. But if you look at the space they had to work with at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it was nowhere near as much space as what United have got around here. For me, I don't really know how they would get around renovating a 114-year-old building, especially with the limited space, again, on that railway track. You've got a bit of space where the canal is, but again, not that much. Whereas if they rotated it, maybe a new Stretford end, where one of the goals were like in front of the canal and the other goal maybe in front of the railway line, flip it around that way, I think would be the best solution. Ladies and gents, what do you reckon? Do you want to see a Bernabeu-style renovation, if they can do it, or do you want to see a whole new building like Tottenham Hotspur have done? Let us know in the comments below. We did bump into the guys at Stretford Paddock today, who also encountered some problems in the past with filming. So if you are to do some videos around Old Trafford, just be aware, security are hot on your tails. Yeah, this is crazy. There's another car park, the other side of the canal. Again, you're not going to squeeze a football ground there, but the infrastructure is in place. Plenty of parking and so on. There's no need to ever move from here. It is the home, I think, of Manchester United forever. Again, they've been here since 1910. I think us fans will put up with a new ground so long as it is still on the grounds of Old Trafford, the footprint. Sir Jim is apparently very keen to try and get government funding as well. He wants to level up the area. He says this side of Manchester is somewhat run down and could do with investment. But people opposing that idea have said United shouldn't be trying to get public money, government money to fund line in the pockets of billionaires. Glazers, really. But when you think of his point that the North needs a Wembley-style stadium, somewhere that can host big games, internationals, etc., he's got a good point. Why should people up north constantly have to travel south for like the FA Cup final, for England games, etc.? They could do with a venue up here to serve in the same way Wembley does, serve the North, Wembley of the North and all that. I was distraught to see Wembley go, especially the fact that they knocked down the Twin Towers. But when England were playing here, I loved it, being a bit biased as a United fan. But some great moments were had in an England shirt here. Just think of Beckham's free kick against Greece, an iconic goal, basically redemption for the France 98 saga. I'm sure England, not only United, could have many a fond memory. Today has been a bit of a repeat of when we went to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. We encountered one awkward security guard, but everyone else, all the other staff, have been really nice and friendly, as you'd expect from the lovely, homely club that is Manchester United. My local club, of course. Wink, wink. Right then, guys, we had to make a bit of a mad dash out of the Old Trafford car park because I pushed my luck and I continued to film on the grounds. So we're here at a service station and we're about to conclude the final part of this 3-part series at Old Trafford, but in the service station. So next to me over here, we've got the item I purchased from the club shop. Now I turned up expecting to buy some of that Stone Roses clobber. This is the one. It's beautiful stuff. But they wanted like 90 quid or something. It's stupid for like a t-shirt. They wanted like 80 quid for a pair of track bottoms. A bloody scarf and a bucket hat was like 40 quid each. Absolutely scandalous. So I went for a cheaper option, of course. We are doing out the man cave, Football Paradise HQ. And I thought to myself, let's start collecting some signs. I've already got an Old Trafford one in there, but we've got a nice Sir Matt Busby Way sign for the man cave. Yeah, I love Sir Matt Busby Way. I love fond memories down the years, walking down Sir Matt Busby Way, Lou Macara's fish and chip shop. Yeah, then heading to the ground. So there we go, that's what I bought. I've got one of those cringy certificates that kids have. You get a free certificate if you do a tour, guys. I'm not sure if you'd want one, but I got one just to show you. This is to certify that Ryan has attended the Old Trafford tour on the 29th of February 2024. There we go then, guys. 3 parts done and dusted. Let us know in the comments below where next, other than the Amex in Brighton and Kenilworth Road in Luton. Let us know where we need to go to next. Maybe a championship club, a League 1, League 2, maybe even a bit of non-league. Maybe we head up to Scotland. Who knows? That's the beauty of Rise Football Paradise. We never know where we're going next. Well, I do, obviously. I book the tours, don't I? I'll see you in one of these videos next to me. Oh, yes.